Brawl Stars is a fast-paced, action-packed game that keeps players coming back for more with its dynamic gameplay and vibrant characters. However, like many online games, it has its fair share of glitches and exploits. These quirks can sometimes turn the tide of battle, create hilarious moments, or offer unintended advantages. In this video, we'll dive into some of the most notable gameplay-altering glitches and exploits that have emerged in Brawl Stars, particularly during new game modes or updates. Get ready for a wild ride through the pixelated chaos. Godzilla City Smash is an event that was introduced as the successor of Super City Rampage. In this event, there are two teams consisting of 3 players each. On opposite sides of the arena, there is a city designated to each team. The objective is to protect your city and to destroy the opposing city. The main objective of the event is to collect as many monster eggs as possible, giving you a ton of rewards and the chance to unlock the new Buzz Godzilla Hypercharged skin for free. One of the most memorable events in Brawl Stars was the Godzilla game mode, where players could transform into a massive Godzilla and wreak havoc on their opponents. But there was a glitch that turned this mode upside down. Players discovered that if you use Otis' gadget right before turning into Godzilla, you could access an area damage attack with incredible range. This is how it worked. When Otis activated his gadget, he would unleash a damaging area effect that remained even after he transformed. This meant that players could maintain a powerful attack while being nearly invulnerable in their Godzilla form. This glitch created chaos, as enemies would find themselves unable to escape Otis' reach. So what was its impact on the gameplay? This exploit not only altered the dynamics of the Godzilla event, but also sparked discussions about balance in the game. Players could dominate matches with this strategy, prompting Supercell to issue a quick fix in the following patch notes. When the Map Maker feature launched, players were excited to craft their unique maps and share them with the community. Brawl Stars Map Maker allows gamers to design custom maps. After reaching 1,000 trophies, players can develop, play, and share custom maps. The Map Maker option may be found on the More menu tab, immediately below the Friendly Games button. Players can save up to 5 draft custom maps, plus 1 contributed map, and edit, rename, or remove them at any time. When in a friendly room, the host can select a finished map of their own invention and enable modifiers on it. They can interact with bots, pals, or both. However, a significant glitch allowed players to create maps with unbreakable walls that weren't supposed to be accessible. It was discovered by some crafty players found that by manipulating the map layout, they could incorporate unbreakable walls into their designs. This exploit let players create strategic advantages that were not intended by the developers. It was a game changer for various modes, especially Showdown, where players could easily hide from opponents. As players began to exploit this feature, Supercell took notice. The developers quickly addressed the issue in their patch notes, removing the ability to use unbreakable walls in player-created maps. But for a short period, it made for some extremely interesting and unconventional matches. A classic glitch that surfaced during various updates was the infamous invisible brawler bug. Players would sometimes find themselves in a match where their character would become completely invisible, rendering them undetectable to opponents. One user, Entrepreneur Brief 575, commented, "I'm not sure if this is just me, but when I'm spectating, sometimes some brawlers will go invisible and reappear suddenly. If it's a teammate, I can spectate them at all, and only let me spectate the one I can see." To be honest, I agree. The glitch often occurred when a brawler used an ability or gadget just as they were eliminated. The timing created a situation where the brawler would respawn as invisible. While this provided a tactical advantage, it could be incredibly frustrating for the opposing team, as they could be taken out without ever seeing their attacker. Shelly is the starting brawler that is unlocked upon beginning the game. She has moderate health and damage output, and a fast movement speed. Her attack is a burst of shotgun shells that deal high damage up close. In the early days of Brawl Stars, players noticed an exploit involving Shelly's super. Her super knocks surviving enemies back and destroy obstacles, similarly dealing high damage up close. When she supercharged in a specific way, she could deal more damage than intended, allowing her to take down opponents in one hit. Players discovered that if Shelly's super was used while at the edge of a bush, the damage output increased dramatically. This exploit turned the tides in many matches, especially in Brawl Ball, where a well-timed shot could lead to an easy goal. Leon is a legendary brawler with medium health and a high damage output at close range. He attacks by flicking out 4 spinner blades, which sweep and deliver less damage farther away. Leon's super ability renders him briefly invisible to opponents. His first gadget, the Clone Projector, creates a clone of himself to confound foes. His second gadget, Lollipop Drop, uses a lollipop to make his allies and himself invisible within its area of influence. His mythic gear, Lingering Smoke, extends his super duration. His first star power, Smoke Trails, boosts his movement speed while his super is on. His second star power, Invisi-Heal, heals him gradually while his super is active. Leon has a unique mechanic that allows him to become invisible. However, during one particular update, players discovered a bug that lets Leon jump while invisible, creating an almost unfair advantage. Players found that by using Leon's super and jumping at the right moment, they could remain invisible while covering the ground quickly. This exploit made it nearly impossible for opponents to predict Leon's movements, leading to countless ambushes. Spike is a legendary brawler with minimal health and tremendous damage output. His assault is a cactus that explodes upon hit and fires spikes in all directions. His super fires a thorny missile that causes a slowing and damaging patch of spikes on the ground. His first gadget, the Popping Pincushion, discharges 3 waves of spikes in all directions surrounding him. His second gadget, Life Plant, creates a cactus that protects him and his comrades and heals them in a radius after it is destroyed. His mythic gear, Sticky Spikes, makes super slow. Spike's initial star power, Fertilize, allows him to heal himself over time when in his super's area of action. Spike, known for his area control and damage, had a glitch that allowed him to plant his super behind walls, effectively making it impossible for opponents to counter without taking damage. By positioning Spike's super at a precise angle near a wall, players could create a barrier of thorns that opponents couldn't avoid. This trick turned Spike into a formidable opponent, especially in close quarters combat. A peculiar glitch emerged involving the brawler Mr. P. Brief intro. Mr. P is a mythic brawler who has moderate health and damage. He attacks with suitcases that bounce and deal additional damage. His super deploys a home base that periodically spawns a roboporter that follows and attacks enemies. Mr. P's attacks would sometimes create a clone that appeared to attack independently. This illusion led to confusion and chaos on the battlefield. When Mr. P launches porters, a bug would sometimes cause them to attack in erratic patterns, making it difficult for opponents to determine which was the real threat. Players capitalize on this glitch, using it strategically to distract and confuse their enemies. In the Brawl Ball event, there are 2 teams consisting of 3 players each. The objective is to take the ball to the opposite team's goal and score. The team that scores 2 goals first wins, or the team with the most goals scored when the timer ends. If the timer ends while the teams are tied, the game will go into overtime for 1 minute, and all map obstacles will be destroyed. If it is still a tie at the end of overtime, the game ends in a draw. In Brawl Ball, a scoring glitch emerged that allowed players to score goals from seemingly impossible angles. This exploit frustrated many players, as it appeared to defy the game's physics. The glitch often involves specific interactions between the ball and certain brawlers' abilities, allowing players to score without following standard mechanics. This led to chaotic matches where teams would struggle to defend against unexpected goals. Before we take a look at the Gromwall exploit, Let's take a brief look at Grom. Grom is an epic brawler who could be unlocked early for a limited time by winning the Grom challenge, or can be obtained from the Star Road. He has low health and a high damage potential. He attacks by throwing his walkie-talkie over obstacles that explode in a cross pattern upon contact. His super is a larger bomb that explodes into 4 larger projectiles in a cross pattern that can destroy obstacles and knock enemies back. Grom had a glitch that allowed his attacks to go through walls under specific conditions. This exploit made him a nightmare to play against, especially in modes that relied heavily on cover. By timing his attacks with a precise angle, players could deal damage through walls, leading to some unanticipated and frustrating experiences for opponents. Grom's ability to bypass cover turned him into a potential threat, particularly in Heist and Showdown. Brawl Stars has seen its fair share of glitches and exploits, each contributing to the game's evolving landscape. While these quirks can lead to frustrating experiences, they often result in memorable moments and lively discussions within the community. As Supercell continues to develop and refine Brawl Stars, they remain vigilant in addressing these glitches through regular updates and patch notes. It's a testament to their dedication to maintaining a balanced and enjoyable game for players. So the next time you find yourself in a match, remember the quirky side of Brawl Stars, where glitches and exploits sometimes make for the most entertaining moments. Happy brawling!